I'm from Colorado. That's mainly where I reside at. I lived in Colorado mainly all my life, but I was born on the border of Washington State and Idaho in Lewiston.
Okay, and then how did you wind up in Pueblo?
I lived homeless and from mainly Colorado Springs to Denver, and stayed in some places. I stayed at the Rosewood in Denver, and then I moved my way back to Colorado Springs. And on my way from Colorado Springs, I stopped in Pueblo through the Crossroads Rehab. I finished out the program there for 4 months when I came back. And then I finished 2 programs, the work program and the regular IRT. And I finished TRT. And that's where I got my job at Target, and I've been in Pueblo ever since then, almost for about 8-9 months now.
Okay, and Zach, how old are you?
I'm 28.
And at what age were you initially homeless?
I was initially homeless at 19.
Can you tell us the circumstances around your homelessness when you were 19?
At 19, I made some early mistakes in life. I went to Job Corps, and I got kicked out, and they gave me an opportunity to stay, and I passed. And I was kind of upset. I didn't agree with what was going on, and I was kind of hot-headed at the time. And I still kind of am, but I've learned kind of patience, so that's where I got on the bus. They sent me a Greyhound ticket from Montana Job Corps to back to Colorado Springs, where I wanted to go. And so that was basically my first year homeless.
Okay, and what was that like for you?
My first year homeless was kind of easy come, easy go at first. I didn't really think much of it, other than I felt homesick. I always feel homesick and I want to go back home, but there's circumstances that, you grow up and it's time to move on.
What do you miss most about being home?
What I miss most is coaching my little brother's baseball team.
Okay, how old's your little brother?
Well, I have 5 brothers in my family. I'm the oldest out of 6, I guess. But my 3 adopted brothers, the youngest one, I taught him, and I think it was the older one. The oldest one is younger than me by about 6 years in my adoptive family, my immediate family. And that was the one I coached. That was the one I coached, and they actually got 3rd place, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when was the last time you saw this brother of yours that you coached?
Well, I forget which one of them it was exactly, but I know it was Ryan. His name's Ryan, and it's been about, I say, 2 years since I seen him last, and I just mainly a lot of mistakes that I made down the road caused me to be estranged from my family.
What would you tell, if you had a chance to speak to your family now, what would you tell them?
That I would tell them that I hope they know that Zach, their brother and their son, loves them very much, and I apologize for any hard comings or struggles that I caused, and I'll make it back to you guys.
You had mentioned something about hot-headedness a while back. Can you explain a little more about what you meant?
I was not really. I can't really explain. I guess I'll pass on that one.
Sure, yeah, no worries. And what was most difficult for you as far as when you became homeless? What did you find most difficult about your situation?
Basically, shelter was a big problem, and keeping basically trying to take care of myself while taking care of my surroundings, the people around me that I loved and I learned to care for, as well as my family. you know, away from family.
And what about basic necessities, food, water, all that? How do you survive?
We actually get a lot of help. We get a lot of help. There's places that feed. They feed at Mineral Palace. They have feedings everywhere. The churches congregate and come together, and then they make sack lunches. The Americorps shows up, and I help them make sack lunches sometimes. And so I try to do my part and volunteer, kind of. I volunteer here and at the rescue mission, and they've always been very nice to me, and they feed us every night. It's really good food, and that's when it wasn't really a problem for shelter. It was just mainly sometimes it's a choice that you make. That's what I've learned. It's not always a choice, but in the long run, for me, it was a choice. Like, hey, I got shelter, I got a place to stay, but I didn't want to be there at that time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'd go off and take a tour of the city or something.
What are some of the benefits of being homeless?
Benefits of being homeless, really honestly, is I guess it would be the food, because when you're homeless, there's really no reason to go hungry, because unless there's, you know what I mean, unless you've already been fed and you're still hungry. I guess that's really the benefit, is you're homeless, somebody's going to take care of you. There will be angels there.
What would Zach, who's now 28, what advice would you give 19-year-old Zach?
I would say, honestly, I would say to put down the drugs. I would have told him to never pick up anything that I was told was bad for me.
And what were your drugs of choice?
I can't really say.
Okay, no worries. Anything else you'd like to share, or anything else about your story that you feel like could potentially benefit other people who might be in a similar situation?
I guess I would say don't be afraid to ask for help, but also if people are busy, try to be patient and understand that everyone needs help at a given time, and that people are around you, and it's a process, and trust the process.
Awesome, brother. And I'm planning on putting this video on YouTube. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
And you're aware on YouTube anybody and everybody could potentially see the video? You're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome, man. Trying to think if I had any other major questions for you. Any other lingering thoughts you want to... Anything else that's on your mind that you feel like sharing?
Go Bulls.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.